So let's talk about Lil Tecca. Exploding into the mainstream after his 2019 breakthrough hit Ransom, Tecca as a shy 16-year-old became the center of attention. 4 years later, and he still has plenty of real fans and a special praise that comes his way whenever the summer starts. That stems from in 2019 when he dropped his debut project that would have multiple viral songs. That at the time was the album of the summer. I got that on vinyl. I don't even know why I don't collect them or have a record player. It's just that good. Any Tecca fan could tell you it wasn't just Ransom that had the mainstream's eye when he was popping off so heavy in 2019. Count Me Out of Luck, Did It Again, Molly Girl. Tecca was in his element. And 2019 Tecca, a lot of people think that was when he was at his best, but I think it was more of a thing of the times, and I think he just gave us such a little refreshing type sound. And his newer music might even be better and more well done, but something about that old music hits, we know that. But anyways, I'm not gonna lie, Tecca has been going through the motions after exploding into the industry. And for the many ways an artist's career could play out after getting thrown in the industry, I would say Tecca has handled it pretty well, and his success has actually been pretty impressive. People like to hate if you're not a mainstream artist, but for how you can go about your career, I think Tecca moved very smart, because one of the biggest things that would dictate how your career will go as an artist is all based on how big your breakthrough hit is. And sometimes the breakthrough worldwide anthems are harder to capitalize off than a slower and steady grind to the top. Now this is what I mean. Slow and steady grind to the top, you're building foundation, and also you have less expectation on you, rather than somebody like CJ who spawned in, dropped Whoopty, and then disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Also with Roddy Ricch, he was honestly achieving a slow and steady grind, but when he dropped the box, he became so mainstream, it like disassociated bro from everything, and we don't even know what he's doing now. Then you look at somebody like Yeet. His first real taste of mainstream came when he dropped that Sorry About That. That was when like a lot of people who never heard of him was like, who's this? It wasn't at all a worldwide hit, and a lot of hip hop fans were unfamiliar with Yeet's work at the time, but he would continue dropping high caliber music and just keep going viral on TikTok to the point where he reached a global level. Lil Baby as well, his first taste of mainstream success was My Dog, and then he had Freestyle, then he had Drip Too Hard, and so forth. He made his way to global success. The point I'm making is, it's harder to capitalize off a breakthrough hit rather than building foundation before the world is introduced to you. And when an artist like Tecca and these other who blew up massively off a hit in their first year of rapping, people hold them to a higher standard. They like to say industry plant. Truly, it's harder to gain the mainstream's trust if they didn't watch you struggle. And I do think he would eventually face that struggle heading into the years 2020 and 2021. And not that he was struggling, but he was more finding what works for him. And if he really wanted to blend in more with mainstream rappers like Durk, Gunna, Nav, or if he was gonna kind of sit back and claim himself with the younger generation like Summers, Jace, Can, all them, cause he be producing a lot for them. But it did seem like in 2020, especially with his label, I'm assuming pushing him so hard, and he was already popping so much, he was working with a lot of mainstream artists. Only to later in the year, like I said, produce for a lot of these underground artists. So, he really got to work with both sides of these like rap subgenres and stuff, which makes sense for Tecca because his debut was in the middle of time eras, because, he missed the 2016 to 18, but was before a lot of the 2020 plug-in being Rage. So, he was really just in the dead center. He got to pick which way he went, and he picked both. I respect it. So yeah, Tecca's sophomore year was more of him really just finding what he wants to do, evolving, and seeing where he fits in. Don't get that twisted though, for that he was making bad music, because his music, despite not getting as much love as We Love You Tecca, it was elite, sounded good, and definitely was experimental and not what I expected from that album. The tape I'm talking about is Virgo World and would sell 35K first week, which I would say 30,000 is around the number of fans who stayed after his breakthrough hit. I say that because the tape with Ransom on it sold 68K first week, so it did drop half, and that's even more to prove what I was saying earlier. When you explode off the rip, not as many people are gonna actually tune into your career. Ain't no foundation. So off that tape with 68K, the 30K who stayed, I would say are the fans that have stuck with him throughout his whole career so far. And just until recently with his hit 500 pounds, he's finally been able to get some outside eyes on him again, but 30K is Tecca's number, based on how his project after that would sell 30K, and then his most recent one he just dropped will also sell 30K. But in general, he clearly hasn't reached a half of who he's reached through Ransom in these last 1-2 years of his career. So all of this leads us to the question, will Lil Tecca ever surpass Ransom's hype? In other words, will people outside his fan base ever not think of Ransom when they see Lil Tecca? Will he be able to overcome that? And for the Tecca fans in the comments, oh, he already did. I'm not talking to you. Of course, a fan of the artist is going to think, oh, he's had better work than Ransom in the past 3 years. I agree with you. He definitely has. but he hasn't reached that level. That's why you got people nowadays making TikTok hits rather than actually putting out good music. And man, me, I stand for the good music, but I can't say as many artists care about real music anymore as much as they do the money of a quick banger that blows up on TikTok or blows up everywhere. Now, does Tecca make music in 2023 that could blow up like Ransom did in 2019? Because 2019 was an interesting time. There was a lot that went behind Ransom blowing up. I mean, one, it was in a lot of Fortnite montages. Two, everybody was using the sound on TikTok because of the part, I got black, I got way what you want. Like, people were making all type of memes out of that. Plus, it's genuinely a good song also, so I could still listen to it and enjoy it to this day. So does Tecca have music in 2023 that could, have the same effect that his 2019 music did? Well, let me tell you, yes. If his recent semi-viral hit 500 Pounds had a little more push to it, or maybe a Travis Scott feature, that could have easily went to that level. But honestly, I'm glad he didn't do that because what he just did was a great step in foundation. And if he can just continue dropping solid tracks that people genuinely enjoy while balancing out a club hit in a way, because 500 Pounds is a good song, but you could put it on at a club and it will be a good song. And you do need to have that factor when making a hit that you want to go viral. That's why artists like Summers has never blown up mainstream, because he never will make a song that, you could just put on the radio and hear. And building foundation right now, while he's this young, I don't see how he couldn't surpass Ransom level. All he has to do is stay in the mix, because he has some real good relationships around him. He produces for a lot of high caliber artists, and any underground artist he's cool with could blow up major at any second. And give him a whole album produced by him, or just give him a feature. Or Tecca might be the next one who has a major hit. Who knows, but I do think it's destined for him because just his circumstances right now. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's the most emotional, vulnerable, like, damn, I really connect with his music. I think Tecca is a smooth artist. I think he's got a dope sound, and his influence, you could really tell he grew up listening to artists just like we did. Future, Thug, Uzi, A Boogie, all the melodic greats. When you think of other artists who had insane breakthrough hits, some are remembered for it, and some overwrite that file with their greatness and, become a legend on their own, and that's just a part of their dynasty. And personally, I do think Tecca's gonna go that way with it. His last tape, I haven't seen no hate about it. All I've seen is real fans. It seems like he really does have a community riding for him, and I think it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. I truly think he's gonna surpass Ransom level. He's young and humble and understands what it takes to really go up in the industry since he's already experienced it. But who knows, he might remain low key and stay at that 30K first week sale level. What do you guys think? Comment below, I'm curious. And of course, as always, we're gonna have to let time tell with that. Now, it's been your boy 10 Souls. Comment down below people you want me to talk about next. And yeah, I'll catch you boys, man.